Hey, gorgeous ones. All right, so I am trying to be like, on trend in the moment with the cool kids, with the popular products. And today I am going to review this palette, the Natasha Denona Saafari palette. Now, you all know this is my very first Natasha Denona, so we're gonna talk about her. For the price, I had to use every color in the palette to make sure I knew what I was talking about. All right, so if you would like to hear what I'm thinking about the Natasha Denona palette, all right, see you in a minute. All right, so we're back. We're gonna talk about the Natasha Denona Saafari palette. I want to say Sunset because that's the one everybody talks about, but this is not this is the Saafari. So it came in this box. I know people like to see things like boxes. Don't ask me why, but here's the box that it came in. The box has, the shade, ingredients, yada yada. So if that's what you're concerned about, there you have it. Now, of course, this is her first all matte palette. Boom. Hello, hello. Now, here's what I'm going to say. If you would like to see the swatches of this, I did go live. I'm going to put it in the cards right here. And you can watch the live of me swatching it live so you can really see my reaction, everything, first impressions about it, all that good stuff. But today I wanted to review the actual palette, talk about it and everything. So, of course, it has how many grams in each one, blah, blah, blah. Let me be honest. I really don't worry about grams per product. If I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it basically because I buy a lot of makeup, and a lot of us buy a lot of makeup. So I'm not looking for it to be the only palette I have and that I'm going to just be using this exclusively and I need it to last forever. I'm going to use this for a while. It's going to be in rotation, things like that if I choose to keep it. But let's talk about it. So let's talk about the review. Now, normally, so what I did with this is I have done a few looks, but the thing is I didn't finish a couple of looks. So the very first look that I did, I'll put in the cards, is in my Christmas is Not in September video. So I did wear, that was the first ones I tried, which was, I tried Lotus. I went with the pinks. So I did Lotus, I did Masai, Voodoo, and a little Malia. I think that's what I did. Yeah, I did that. So I used a lot of the pinks in the palette, pinks and purples. So that's the first look. I'm gonna, as I'm talking, I'm gonna pull up a little videos up in here of, now scoot over a little bit, of a couple of the looks. And then this is the look that I actually did today because I wanted to wear this and I had this idea about it. I do have one other look I want to try out soon, so that might come up anyway. Okay, but let me just talk about the palette. Okay, so first off, it's all matte. The powder, they are very creamy. I've swatched them all. I've played with them all. They've all been on my eyes. They're very creamy to the, they're very creamy. Like when I touched them for the first time, I was like, ooh, these are soft. So they're very soft. They're like a very soft powder formula. Are they powdery? Does their kick up? Yes. Now, I'm going to say this because I just don't understand the problem with powdery, like a little fallout, little kick up with your eyeshadows. Because if they don't have a little kick up, that means they're kind of pressed really hard, which then means it's hard to get them on your brush and very hard to blend and everything. So I personally, unless it's just falling out, a little kick up doesn't bother me, a little fallout doesn't bother me. Now, let me say, like for instance, I have Lorac shadows. I like them. They have much more kick up and they're very popular. People love the Lorac shadows because when they get them on their eyes, they usually blend very well and things like that. So people like them. And they are very powdery. I mean, they will, you tap in the nose and it's like, boom. But I still like them and I enjoy them because they do give me good eye looks. ABH. I would say this is on the level of an ABH matte. It is powdery. It has some fallout. It has some kick up, but not to the point that I'm going, oh my God. Where they dip into it and they're acting like, oh my God, I'm going to hit pan in no time. Okay, but I'm just saying. So anyway, That's the way they are. Now, let me say, so the thing I do like about this palette, and the reason why I wanted to buy it, because at first I wasn't, because when I saw the first parts of it, you know, when they do the illegal filter, I saw, you know, it was like called Safari, and it was going to be all matte, and I was excited because the companies are coming better with like the greens and things, and the more cool tones, and being a little more interesting with palettes than they have been in the last year or two, because everything has been so warm, so brown, so orange, so you know what we're talking about. So when I heard it, I was like, yes, I want, ooh, it's gonna be like, you know, looking like rich colors. Okay, so then I saw it and I was like, no lies, I was like, this is not it. Now let me tell you what I would have preferred. It's a nice palette when I finally got a hold of it. However, I was looking for something a little more vibrant, especially some more greens in it, because you are talking about Safari. But now that I look at it and I think about Safari, which is the savannas, which are the grasslands, they tend to be not as vibrant as I'm thinking. Tropical tends to be a little more vibrant with the colors because there's more water. But when we're talking about grasslands and stuff, it's kind of dry. So a lot of these colors are kind of what you would see in the grasslands. And the thing that wound up making me get it, honestly, was because when I saw the swatches, and when I first saw it, I saw these two colors, Malia and Aya. And at first I was like, so she gonna put in two of the same color, but they are actually not. This is a super, super soft pink. This is a bone color. And I was like, okay, I could work with that, because I find that it's very rare that you find soft pink mattes. That you don't see as many of them. So I was like, oh, all right, child, Miss Natasha, go for it. And then once I really got it and saw the swatches, I was like, okay, I might like this. And when I swatched it, what I really enjoyed and really liked was that it has these pinks, and it has lotus, and then it has Masai, which is that beautiful kind of cranberry red, cranberry-ish color, which is very hot this season, and then Voodoo, which looks almost brown in the package, but it's really a deep purple. So once I swatched, I was like, oh my goodness, I like these colors, because it gives you a really nice color scheme to play with and things like that. And then you have cool tones in here, and then you have the warm tones, and you have some that can blend with both of them. So I think that all in all, for the 15 shades, I really, now that I have it in my hand, I do enjoy them. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about the shades I use and what do I think about them. So I'm going to put up the videos, and I didn't finish my looks, but I did do enough so you can see the eye look, and then I went on to the next eye look, and then I finished my face with this look. So let's talk. So the first one I did was, I usually don't watch videos. I usually don't watch reviews, especially when I'm going to review something, because I don't want to let the bias set in, because these are people that I watch, and personally I think they're better at these things and they've been at it longer than me. So I don't want myself to be biased by them, but I wound up watching Puffin's wife, well, Mel Thompson now, Mel. And I watched her review because it had a big old fail on it. I was like, oh man. So I watched it and I wanted to see what she had to say. And then I stopped myself because I was like, okay, I don't want to be too biased. I don't want to go into playing with this and just be looking. So what I did was I did the very first one. So the look that she wound up doing, I tried it out on myself. So I did use the exact same color she used. So on here you will see I'm using the Desert Date. And I'm speeding this up so you just go through it. The Desert Date. Then I did the Amhara. And then I finished up with Savannah on the lid, just like she did. Now I'm going to say this. Mel has much more expensive brushes than me. You know, she got the brushes that everybody wants. I got these little cheap. Mine are much more inexpensive. You know, most of mine are synthetic. And honestly, I did not have the problems with especially Savannah, because that was the one she was complaining the most about, was Savannah. I didn't have those problems with it. So I can't... so for me, it was fine. But I also will say that she didn't use a packing brush. I used a shader brush. I used this one right here, which is my large shader. What is this? The E60 by Sigma. I think this is the E60. I use this, and so this is a synthetic brush, and I pat it on the color that I wanted. So it was fine for me. No problems. You know, I didn't have that patchiness that she had, or that line at the top where it was really lined up. So I don't know, maybe, you know, now this is what I will always say, is that I do notice when I do looks sometimes is that I have issues on my left eye, but I think that I'm getting some wrinkles on it, because I always have some issues, and it's always my left eye. My right eye will be very smooth, very easy to work with, but my left eye can be a little challenging. So I think it's more about my skin on the side, which I'm going to be working on, y'all, because I'm not going to have no, like, cockeyed look with a half a wrinkled eye and then the other eye more smooth. That's not going to happen. All right. And so then the next look, because I wanted to keep using the colors in here, the next look I did was I used Tamarind, and then I used Tribe, and then I used Shea, and I used Aya. So those are the colors that you see me using on this video right here. And this was just a basic, you know, I just wanted to go with a very basic, you know, everyday look. Because this would be an everyday look that I could, you know, you wear just running out the door. Very basic, very kind of almost neutrally look. And all of those performed really well, blended really easy. Now, my application wasn't the best because it was at 5 something in the morning. And I was just trying on them and wanted to make sure that I saw how they actually worked. And they did work very well. You know, they worked fine for me, just fine. So let's just go over overall my thoughts on this palette. Okay, I think it's a good palette. It works pretty well for me there. I will say that Fata Morgana was a little more challenging for me, but I'll talk about that. You'll see what happened when I run the video. But all in all, I think it's a really good quality palette. I like the color story. I got to use my beauty guru. I forgot the color story, my beauty guru vocabulary. I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a part 2, y'all, because I did miss a few things. And I think I'm going to have to do part 2 because I missed some stuff. But anyway, but I do enjoy the color story. Like I said, I think that this in particular does, even though like Rhino, Savannah, like Savannah is the only green, and it's like our army green. I would have loved another green in the palette. I know they could have, like for instance, she could have got rid of one of these, Amhara or Tribe. She didn't need both of those, and she could have put another green in there. That would have been awesome, but that's just me and my thing that, you know, I want green. I want blue. But for all in all, it does work really well together. The quality of the shadows is just fine. They're not mind-blowing. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, you have got to run out and get this, because it is an expensive palette. What I will say is that I have some other palettes coming in from some other smaller indie brands that kind of have some similar color stories, because this is kind of the color story that's going on right now. And I'm going to see how they look and do, you know, are there alternative ways to get the same thing at a lesser price? So I will be checking back in with some other palettes that I like ordered and I wasn't supposed to be ordering, but I did anyway. But anyway, so do I like this palette? Yes, I do. Do I think it's worth the $129? Honestly, no. I think it's a good palette. If you want to splurge and get it, it's worth getting. Will you die if you don't have it? No. No, you will not. You can find good quality eyeshadows, you know, for a lesser price point. If you want to try, if you want to splurge on yourself, then this is a nice one to have. It's not a bad palette. You know, I like it. But will I return it? No. I'm going to keep it because that's who I am. And will I buy other Natasha Denonas? I probably will, because I do like the formula. I do see the quality in it. I'm not going to say that every time she comes out with something I'm going to need it. No, that's not going to happen. But if I see something I like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I can get me some Natasha Denona. She's not that bad. She's not that bad. She's pretty good. So all in all, It's a decent palette. I'm no lies, no lies. It did not fail for me. It's a thumbs up. It's a thumbs up for me. Just gotta be real. And if you like this color story, if you're looking for a good quality matte and you got the money to spend, go on and get it, and you know, splurge on yourself. It's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna be getting out of here, and you're gonna see the, you know, whole look. Don't forget to like this if you like it. Give me a comment or two. Let me know what you think if you have it. Are you planning on getting it? You know, would you like me to do some more looks with this? Fill out some more looks, because I have another one I'm thinking about doing a little more dramatic. Now, give me a break on this one, because you know I'm not the best with smoky eyes, and I am a work in progress. So I hope you all enjoy this look. See you later. All right, so I'm working on this look, and I use Stone for my transition color, which is this light gray matte. And it's really interesting because I had mentioned in a live before, and I've mentioned it a few times, how I was looking for gray mattes, because gray mattes really haven't been out. Now, you know, kind of the cool tones are coming, so I got a gray matte. So this is of course Stone, so it's a light gray matte. Look like Stone. So next up I use Rhino, which is that medium gray for the outer corner and my crease. Now what you're gonna see is that I did have some problems with a little patchiness, but it was on my left eye, and I have noticed that happens quite a bit on my left eye. So as I was saying, I think that I actually have some kind of wrinkles or something trying to roll up in there, which I'm gonna have to address really soon. But you know, anyway, so even though on the right eye it was really smooth, but I kind of get this patchiness, but I notice it a lot. So it's not just this particular palette or eyeshadows. So I went and I then did try to clean it up just a little bit, you know, just do a little blend so it wouldn't be such a harsh line, because right that moment it was a little harsh. Line was a little harsh. Line was a little harsh. And you know, you got to keep working on it. The thing about doing eyeshadow, and if you're new to it, is that you must blend, and you must continue to blend and continue to blend. So, you know, take your time and blend. That's it. You know, keep working on it. Keep working on it. See, that's where that patchiness was coming in, right there. All right, so now I'm going to use the Fata Morgana, which is the blue color, and it's like a really cool tone grayish blue, which I really like. And so I'm patting it on with my shader brush. And let me say, this is the one that I had the most problems with. So you can probably tell as I go along that it's kind of, you see there's like a lightness. So there's a patch on my eyes that's kind of light. So it's a little patchy. Just being real, it's patchy. But I was able to make it work by, you know, actually changing up my brush. You'll see I changed up the brush. But I really like the color though. The color is gorgeous. And so, you know, I did a lot, you know, but sometimes that's what you gotta do, you know. So, you know, it's not the easiest to work with for the purposes of what I'm doing. Now, I don't know how it worked just using it as a crease color or an outer V color, where I'd be using a different type of brush, where it would be, you know, I wouldn't be packing on the color, but more of a true blend to it. So I don't know how that would work out, but for what I was doing, the purposes, it was a little more patchy than I would have liked. And all right, so here's the final look after I did a lot of blending. It came out pretty decent. I do like it though. It is kind of pretty after some blending and everything. It came out pretty good. Let me know what you think. You know, I don't know if you like it or not. So give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Let me know. Because for a smoky eye, and I'm not the best at smoky eye, I'm kind of pleased with it. So it's your Lulu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. See you later.